we set out to establish the magnitude of sand harvesting in Makueni County. These activities are executed illegally, given that the county government banned sand harvesting trade in 2013. The move, however, left Area Governor Kasikeu on a collision path with powerful cartels behind the illegal trade in sand. So powerful were the cartels that the governor at some point claimed his life was in danger. The scooping is usually done at night. The most affected areas in Kasikeu location are Enguli, Muua and Mangala. We were warned that danger lurks for strangers driving vehicles bearing blue or green number plates. We set off for Mangala anyway. A while back, Mangala was the epicenter of a deadly confrontation between villagers opposed to sand harvesting and a group of young men hired by cartels. A number of villagers lost their lives with an equal number left nursing injuries.
Sasa hata kuna watu waongeleshani, walipigana, wengine wakauana, wamekeana kisasi. Naona sasa
hata kuna mama mwingine nyakati zile alishikwa na hao vijana. Hata ukianza kusema mambo ya shangalao anaanza kulia tu.
We had to be extremely careful. To access the area, we had to use one of the sand harvesters whom we picked on our way. His brief was to introduce our crew to his colleagues. When we arrived at the scene, the sand harvesters had all disappeared to a nearby thicket, having been promptly alerted of our presence. They had initially accused our fixer of being a traitor. However, a brief introduction and some sort of persuasion eased the tension. One after another, the young men started emerging from the thicket, but still armed just in case. This is the focal point of sand scooping activities in this area. The activities were initially carried out in this vast dry valley, but after the sand became scarce, they have now moved to the banks, mining away the sand to the last grain to eke a living.
When they have already loaded a certain lorry, they fight for whoever has been given money.
The effects are devastating. Majority of these young men are school dropouts.
They drop from school due to sand harvesting. They tend to see free money given.
This Mugumo tree, which has been here for years, is on the verge of failing. The activities have eaten into a nearby shamba, but the owner cannot object for fear of reprisal. Trucks carrying loads of sand could be spotted cruising the area, but our presence here, plus our camera, made things even more confusing to the truck drivers. They were very uncomfortable, choosing to scoot away as quickly as possible. This destruction is replicated in most parts of the county.
Sasa pale imefika kwenda juu ni kama walibeba kama mita 6 kwenda chini. Ilikuwa imeshika mpaka hata magari hapa ilikuwa inakwama, ilikuwa tunakuja tunafukulia gari ndio ipite.
This almost dry riverbed was once a flowing river, but with massive sand harvesting here, you can see the results. On my left are results of some of the interventions made to rehabilitate the rivers.
We want to use the youth themselves to do that, so that we can employ them to construct the sandy dams, we can employ them to do the gambions, and we can also use them to conserve the rivers.
Rivers in Katitu in Kasikeu are showing signs of recovery. This is because residents here united to fight the sand harvesting menace. Food insecurity is no longer a problem here, as farmers use the little but available water to carry out irrigation. But as Nobel laureate the late Professor Wangari Maathai once said, Mother Nature is very generous but equally unforgiving.